Hello, good afternoon. My name is Ralf Müller. I'm the CEO of Duke Engines. Duke Engines is a high-tech engine design and development company in Auckland, New Zealand. Very well. If you're a movie buff, you might have seen the movie The Fastest Indian, which was a story about a gentleman from New Zealand who broke the land speed record for motorcycles. And somehow we have a pretty similar story behind Duke Engines. There was a gentleman, Mr. Noel Duke, who's the original inventor of our engine concept, who started working on it 15 years ago. And of the 15 years, 14 and a half years were spent optimizing our product, our engine, our design, our development. We have attracted an international team from all over the world. And we have now an axial engine, which is a new engine concept. If you look in history, there are three main engine concepts, the Otto, the diesel and the Wankel engine, and hopefully the next one will be the axial Duke engine. If you imagine an engine which does not look very unfortunately either 5, 4, 6 cylinders in a row or in a V shape or in a boxer shape, but imagine a barrel shape engine which is perfectly round, very small and compact, that's the Duke engine. The Duke engine, compared to normal engines, is probably about a third smaller, lighter, has a barrel shape, has a higher power density. That means we get the same power, if not more power, out of a much smaller package. The engine, because it's an axial engine, it works a little bit like the drum of a revolver. All the pistons and the cylinders go in one direction, so the internal forces are mostly resolved. So the engine is inherently balanced, which means our engine has virtually no vibration. And because we get rid of valves and camshafts, which are very expensive parts of the engine, we have about 30% less components. Therefore, our engine is simpler, can be produced cheaper, and it's suitable for a very, very wide range of fuels, because eliminating valves also eliminates the hotspots in the combustion system. No, I think there are a little bit more specified pain problems in the market, for example, in the aviation industry. One of the biggest problems right now is that most civil aviation, small aircraft, light sport aircraft, etc., they use Avgas. Avgas is 100-octane leaded fuel, which is carcinogenic, very unhealthy, it's very expensive, and yet 80% plus of the civil aviation industry with piston engines relies on that fuel. Our engine, smaller, lighter, stronger, can save a lot of space in the aircraft, has no vibrations, and it runs on normal fuel. So therefore, that could eliminate a potentially very hazardous situation. We're looking for partners. We're looking not just for capital, we look for smart capital, meaning ideally we find a partner who has market verticals, meaning they can open doors to markets we're looking for, maybe have specified interest in the transportation industry, aviation, automotive, etc. Oh, well, we are a small, high-tech engine design development company. We don't intend to start up our own manufacturing, so what we're trying to do with this partnership arrangements we're looking for is to either have license deals with international OEMs going to market. And that means for us that we hopefully start with one market segment as early as possible. We have ongoing negotiations with some of the world's top companies and hope that we can conclude some of those negotiations by the end of the year. And then our engine will first appear in one platform, and then from there on we leverage ourselves into other market segments. Well, basically competitive landscape is every other internal combustion engine available in the world at that point, which is basically everything which is in a car, in an aircraft, in a boat. We just bring unique advantages to the table, and they are more or less important for different platforms. For example, in aviation, it's very important to have a vibration-less engine, which is smaller, reducing drag, allowing more payload, for example, or longer flight times. As a range extender engine for hybrid vehicles, for example, lack of vibrations is also very important. Motorsport applications, the power we can develop is important. So basically, we bring advantages to the table compared to a normal internal combustion engine. And therefore, there's huge competition out there. It's a 120-year-old technology, which we have rearranged rather radically, and we just made the ubiquitous internal combustion engine work a little bit better. Well, you could look at the Wankel engine as a part step in that direction. The Wankel engine suffers a little bit from vibrations, high fuel consumption, high oil consumption, etc., etc. No, there is no other axial engine in the world at present. Not that much in the next 12 months. I think the development cycles in engines and platform integration are probably more like 2 or 3 years. But I think within the next 3 years, you will see a Duke engine in a platform. And my guess would be at that point in time that it will be a so-called light sport aircraft, maybe an unmanned aerial vehicle. Our company's 12-month goal is to have a signed, sealed partnership agreement with an important accepted international partner which can bring market size, experience, and help. Capital is not the most important part, it's actually access to markets.